What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Power Book 2 Go, Season 3, Episode 4, The Land of Opportunity. So we get up into the episode and it starts off with Tariq and Brayden at work or whatever. Tariq got his phone now and he's on the Wall Street Course Correct. And that app is just going up. Hundreds of orders is coming in. He trying to check in, see how Effie doing. I think Brayden was the one that called, or somebody called. Either way, Effie over there, overseeing the operation, and it's really a real operation that's going on. I said, dang. So this is what it's like to be up in. It was giving very much New Jack City, okay? All we needed was naked bitches up in there handling the drugs or whatever. But anyway, Effie had to make sure and tell Big Boy, listen, you got to put this amount because this is what people are looking for. You can't be shortchanging our customers or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And the way that they just went up in that what is it, Tariq and Brayden's daddy firm or whatever, the Winston's holding, baby, they just went up in there and just them people just started taking the cups out of their hand. I said, we ain't gonna disguise ourselves. We just gonna come in there like a regular nigga off the street holding some coffee cups. That's what happened. I said, oh, this is a little bit risky, but okay. Moving on from that, we see Lorenzo and Drew and Kane and Monet. So they got Monet, blindfolded, right? They surprised her with this mural of Zeke, okay? And, Monet, let me tell you something. Monet didn't even be like, oh my God. Oh my God, you got my baby up there. Look at my baby. She was like, oh my God, this is nice. Look at my baby. I said, girl, we're going to have to give Mary a little bit more acting lessons because if you was really a heartbroken mama and you had been going through the flux for the past few months, baby, you saw that, you would have been like, oh. But that's not Monet. But that's neither here nor there because here comes Whitman. I said, we're not even 5 minutes into the episode and you're already pissing me off. This man comes up there and Monet said, what the hell are you doing here? You already got, I think he got suspended or whatever, or whatever. I think he got suspended. But either way, she was like, what the freak are you doing here? Oh, don't worry about it because that means now that I got more time to look out for you or whatever, okay? Carrie Milgram, Dante Sparks, your baby daddy. I just felt some type of way about the way that he said baby daddy. For me, it just felt a little racially charged or whatever. And I just don't appreciate this white man coming in messing with these people of color. We got to say people of color because Lorenzo, he a little Puerto Rican, right? Is he Puerto Rican or he's Dominican? Anyway, he us, okay? He us with a Spanish accent. There it is, okay? He a nigga with a Spanish accent. Anyway, but I don't want to hear you say that word. So at this point, he like, how long this shit been going on and you ain't tell me nothing about it? Girl, don't worry about it. I'm gonna have it taken care of and all this stuff. But did y'all see when Diane pulled up? I said, oh, now I do feel like Monet is being a little harsh with Diane? A part of me want to say yes, but then a part of me, the whole part of me that's not part of that part, want to say no. Because you remember how at the beginning in season 1, I believe, Monet iced out Kane the same way. Remember that? It was at one point that she was like, you're not a part of this family no more, but it was Diane that was going over there, giving him information and all of that stuff. And then the only reason why he came back into the fold because they really needed him because of the mess that was going on. But also, and then they was, he kind of tricked them into, working with him and all that stuff or whatever, and the whole Mecca situation. But now it's Diane's turn. And Diane, you seen how she did your brother. You seen how she did your brother when she felt like, he was going against her or whatever. So why do you feel as though you wouldn't have had no consequences this deep. Your mother holds a grudge with a tight fist and she won't let go until she feels it's necessary. And baby, it's not necessary. And I know some people probably like, she being too much. But you just think about it. The last time you seen and had a real conversation with your son, and the last real interaction that you had with your daughter, it was your daughter putting your business out there, which fractured your relationship with your son. Granted, Monet should have been told Zeke what was going on. I understand why she did it, but she still should have told him what was going on. But that did not give Diane the right to do what she did in the way that she did, and it further messed up the relationship between Monet and Zeke in his last few days. They were barely talking, if that. And then before that she can truly make amends with him, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I understand how come she's icing her out. Do I feel a little bit bad for her? Just slightly, just a little bit slightly, because she been trying to get from underneath, Monet's clutches or whatever ever since season 1. But this, unfortunately, is the unfortunate event that's going to push her away a little bit or try to get her out, and it's not in the way that she probably would have wanted it, on good terms. So they had to go together. She was like, we're going to have a family meeting. And then Diane was about to start walking. She said, a private family meeting. You don't want no part of this, right? You want to go to school. That's what you wanted to do, right? So go ahead and go to school. I said, oh my God. Monet is a mess. Oh. So at this little meeting or whatever, Monet gets getting the lowdown about how Whitman kept on bothering them, about the fact that, they're moving drugs for Norma, and they got a quota that they got to meet, who they getting to do with the Jamaica Avenue boys and also the Castillo boys, right? Castillo, okay? Shout out to Tegan, shout out to Amira, that's my girl. Anyway, Monet said, excuse me, but am I the only one that feels some type of way and think that this is stupid that y'all got the Castillo boys up here, Frank's kids, doing all of this when we the one that killed that nigga? And it was like, well, they daddy was a rat. So, if they find out that the daddy was a rat, if they would have known what was going on and knew that we had something to do with it, they probably would have said something, and they have yet to say anything. And Monet like, maybe they plotting, okay? So at this point, she wants them dead the situation with them. But Kane is like putting his foot down and showing that he's in charge, and was like, no, we're going to keep this going. But Lorenzo keep on, backing him up. And so they was like, oh, okay. So when they left, because they had some stuff to do for Norma, Monet said, what the fuck was that about? Drew said, listen, I don't know. It's been weird for a minute. Kane say something, Lorenzo just back it up. I don't know what the hell is going on. So now they got to figure that out. Meanwhile, you got Kane up there talking to Effie. And, you know what? I feel like Kane, I really don't trust you, because Kane at this point, he gets whatever he wants. Now, when we first saw Kane get the bitches. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like either he do like Effie, or it's a challenge that she don't want to give in to him like that. I do think that he want to bang bang boogie with her. You know what I'm saying? I really do. And I feel like he also want to do it to get back at Tariq or whatever, because even though they got to work together, I really don't think that he still like Tariq. So there's that as well. But he up there basically trying to tell her that he knows that she was the one that took care of Lauren. Oh, that's cap. Who told you that? All right. It was like, well, Brayden basically said it without saying it, in the last scene of last week's episode. And it was like, well, you going to tell your man. And Kane thought that Tariq knew, because Tariq was the one that gave the order or whatever. But kind of find out, he realized, and because Effie said, no, I'm not. That's not what happened. He don't know what happened with her. But eventually, I'm going to tell him what happened, but it got to be coming from me, because Kane was about to spill the beans. And I said, oh my goodness. She said, you want to congratulate me for whatever, do whatever. Don't call me, don't hit me up. We don't need to have that type of association or whatever, because she wasn't answering his call. That's why he popped up on her like that. But she said, just keep this a secret. I said, girl, go ahead and tell Tariq what's going on, because Kane is the type of person that is very vindictive, and their relationship is not what it appears to be. Meanwhile, Norma's guy, What is his name, and when are we gonna see Norma again? It is episode 4, and I have yet to see my boo. Let me tell you something. I am turned on by aggressive, powerful women like that. The way that she had that lady cut off, and she took the ring off that hand and put it right back on her. I feel, well, that was a bit much, but it made me tingle a little bit. It was just a power about it. I said, all right, and you cute. Okay, where you at, girl? Cause listen, Mr. Representative, he just don't like Americans. And at first, I just thought it was white folks. He just don't like Americans, girl. Girl, he talked to Braden. Braden said, cause I think Tariq, first of all, Tariq got a car. He said it went from a BMW to a Porsche. They said a BMW. What BMW? He said black man walking. I said, oh. You know what? I can't really talk right about now because, you know, I put up an Uber Chronicle. Motherfuckers like, won't you get a job? Girl, I'm going to get a car whenever I feel like getting one, okay? It just don't make sense to me right about now. I ain't got nowhere to park it. I'm not finna be paying all that insurance or whatever right about now. I could if I wanted to, but it just ain't. And I don't feel like paying for parking right about now. Okay, so it is what it is. And don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Moving on from that. But if you want to put forth a fun and go ahead and surprise, that's fine too. That is fine with me. But until then, keep it to yourself. But I was just like, so the first car that you get is gonna be extra flashy. So now you look like you're trying to make yourself a target. I just don't understand some people, okay? Because you're gonna be easy to spot out, you know. So Mr. Representative. Tariq's telling him about the money being wired over there to him, and I think Braden was trying to tell him how it works or whatever. Mr. Representative said, I know how it works, you pale garden gnome or whatever. I said, oh my goodness. Mr. Representative, you don't have to do all of that. And then gonna come up in there and say, okay, well, you met the quota that you were supposed to meet. Now let's see about this. We're gonna see how if you can keep this up for the next few drops that we have. I said the next few drops. What's the next one? Girl, guns. They said, what the fuck? Now this ain't what we do. We do drugs. And it was like this was Mecca's load or whatever. This is what he did. So this is what you're gonna do. Girl, they gotta figure out how they gonna sell this stuff. Somebody gonna say something. I think it was Braden talking about, so let's buy, let's keep it for ourselves and we pay for it. Girl, no. Braden, we ain't finna do that. You ain't in the streets, okay? You know, so they gotta keep on doing what they doing. Meanwhile, we got this scene over there with Sax and Jenny, and he trying to tell her to get some information and look into Theo Rollins' case or whatever. And she was like, what this got to do basically with her? He's supposed to be doing his little CI work or whatever. And she like, well, what is the connection? Because, I mean, technically, we can just go ahead and get some information and put, you know, Davis in jail because he the one that committed the murder that his brother is in jail for. And he was like, no. Just give me the information, see if you got some or whatever, right? And then when you do all of that, I can look into his case, I can get him off, and this is how I get close to him, and this is how I get him a treat. Trust me or whatever. And she was like, I'll see what I can do. And in the midst of them talking, she get a phone call from Blanca. She go take the phone call, and then her other phone in her purse starts ringing. He looks at it, takes a screenshot of the number. Mind you, I feel like it was Lauren that was calling. I could be wrong. We'll see later on in the episode. But I was just like, Sax, how Sax not getting caught doing all this sneaky shit? Okay? Meanwhile, you get over there with the kids at their school. Somebody said on Twitter, does Tariq only take one class a week? Because he only at this one class. What other classes is he taking, okay? Because we only see him in one class in this same classroom. So this episode's topic was the land of opportunity. So they had them stand up. She got some volunteers to come up. They was writing down different words on a card of what they want. Diane wanted independence. Effie, she wrote down freedom. Tariq wrote down family, and then, you know, she started asking questions. Step forward if this happened. Step backward if this happened. Woo, 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 woo. And, you know, just showing the different various situations of the land of opportunity and who has better opportunities than not and all of that stuff, and it made people feel some type of way, and this is how they get the discussion rolling. And I was like, oh, okay. Like what's her name, brown skin Keisha was like, this fucked up. I said, yeah, when you see how unequal the world is, yeah, it's all fucked up. We all know that. So you got Effie and Tariq, they're walking after school and, just talking about what happened in school, the class and all that stuff. I saw you wrote family down. He was like, yeah, because that's all I'm doing this for. I'm trying to, go ahead, finish school, graduate so I can get this trust fund and, take care of my family. Do you ever think about what you're going to do after that? I mean, no, not really. But basically, what we get out of that whole conversation is Effie is only trying to do this short term. And, it's surprising to me. It's surprising to me, to keep hearing her saying that she's only in it so that she can get a certain amount of money. And it's not just so that she can live well. It's so that she can further her education, fund that, don't be in debt for that. And then that's going to set her up to do some clean legal stuff. Because usually when we see people that do this drug gang type of stuff, they just in it just to be in it. And then they'll probably say that they're going to get out at this certain point or whatever, but they get addicted to it and all that stuff. Whereas we see Tariq, who already been set up with life with, he talking about trust funds and all this stuff. And, he's doing this drug game just because he's doing this drug game. Truth be told, now it's become a necessity. But when he got into it, he didn't need to the way that Effie did. So, different opportunities and all of that stuff. Hence the name of the episode. Hence what was being said and discussed in the class. She want to make money so that she can go ahead and get into the grad school that she want to in this robotic course out there in California. She said, listen, it's $50,000 a semester. I said, damn. Girl, let me tell y'all something. Speaking of money for classes and student loans and shit, anybody got Great Lakes? Anybody got Great Lakes? Am I the only one that got the email address saying that Great Lakes ain't even gonna be what it is that we gonna be paying our federal money to? We gonna have to go to another one or whatever. And then I looked down. I said, y'all ain't have to put the summary of how much I owe. I said, bitch, in this lifetime, you're not gonna get it. Unless Ashley come up with some type of job that's gonna make me buku money, baby, you're not gonna get that. Okay, I'm gonna continue to pay on it a little bit here and there, but just let you know, you're not gonna get all of that. I looked at that and I said, God damn, shit, what the fuck was I thinking? Listen, anyway, so you got that going on, and at one point, he was just basically trying to be that supportive little nigga that she need. Because she was like, some people don't understand or whatever. He was like, no, fine. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you're going to do. You ain't going to get no pushback from me. I'm going to be up in your corner. And she was like, listen, Tariq, I got to tell you something. And he was like, yo, what you got to tell me? And then his phone, somebody texted him or whatever. It was Lucas telling him to come down there to the office. So he had to go down there, and he did ask her, what did you want to tell me? And, she was about to tell him about Lauren, but that just didn't happen. So we get down there to the office, and, of course, Lucas is sitting there talking to RSJ, right? The black billionaire or about to be billionaire, whatever. He trying to, convince him to invest with the firm and all of that stuff, put his money in the firm and woo. And RSJ is just sitting there like, huh. Now, we already know that Lucas is using Tariq as a prop. RSJ already know that he's using him as a prop because one black man to another black man, that's just what it is. Now, see, Lucas had a weak case as it is to try to convince this man to, give him money or whatever. But I feel as though, honestly, the reason why he continued and he actually went through with this meeting was because of the talk that he had with Tariq. That's what it was. Because other than that, I feel like he wouldn't have came. He wouldn't have entertained it at all. Because I'm listening to what Lucas is saying, and Lucas literally is not. I said, this is weak. You haven't convinced me to put even $1 into your investment firm. You know what I'm saying? And then Lucas, it also goes to show that you don't research who you are or who you're talking to, and you don't understand that you can't say certain things without offending people, and you can offend people, and that can cost you somebody wanting to invest with you, okay? Because this fool gonna go ahead and tell RSJ you're like the black Elon Musk. I said, excuse me, come again. Baby, RSJ caught that and said, so what you mean Elon Musk made his fortune or whatever because his daddy and them made money off of the apartheid. And y'all know what apartheid was going on out there in South Africa. It was the racism, whites against the blacks, you know. It is so crazy how it's so crazy how the white folks came in and took over a fucking continent and brought that type of racism to the continent of Africa. Like, y'all colonized the fuck out of it. I just cannot understand how. The fucking gall, okay? The fucking gall. And then to get in your feelings and try to put up restrictions or whatever because this black ass continent, for the most part, was already here doing whatever they was doing, and you want to come in and put in. That's me. I'm not finna do that. That just made me mad. That just made me weak. The audacity. And you know, he was talking all about that or whatever. And, you know, he had started talking to Tariq about how his daddy left him this or whatever. He was made it so that he wouldn't have to, you know, struggle. Some shit like that. He was connecting with Tariq. And Lucas caught on to it, right? Mind you, Tariq is just sitting there. But at the same time, Lucas said, I mean, not Lucas, but RSJ said, listen, I ain't gonna be able to invest with you right about now because, you know, I'm just not. And so he left out. And at this point, Lucas is pissed off and he's confused as to what happened because he thought it was a sure thing. I said, that's what you get for thinking it was a sure thing. You not Miguel, okay? So what's going on? You know, and then he looking at Tariq like, I knew you had something to do with it because you knew exactly what was going on. Something was happening. And it was like, listen, you basically telling him, you coming at him in a way that's like... You trying to appease to him, but you just fucked it up because you went the racial route, okay? And you trying to connect with him on a racial level, but you came off as racially insensitive. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, why didn't you tell me this and all this shit? Well, I'm just the intern, okay? You're the boss. So what am I supposed to do? He said, if you want to stay an intern, you better go over there and talk to RSJ and get him back over here. I said, excuse me. I don't like when people do this. So him and Braden up there trying to understand what's going on and how he gonna get him, you know, to come back on board. And while they in the midst of talking, they both get text messages saying something about the servers is just overloading. So Braden got to go check that out. Meanwhile, Tariq go down there to Tate's office trying to get some information of how to connect with RSJ. And at this point, he gives him a little something saying that, you know, he probably there because he already wants something. He's the type of person that wants something from you. That's why he's still there, okay? That's why he entertained that thing. And that's what I was just literally saying. He wants something from Tariq or whatever. And so you got to figure out what he wants from you because Tariq said, what the hell I got to give him? He said, you got to figure that out. And then Tate went on to say, and while you figuring that out, go on my Instagram page and click that profile link and donate to my campaign. He said, I ain't got no money for that. He do, but he don't want to. He said, oh, well, if you don't want to, you know, I just have a conversation with my friend Blanca Rodriguez. And she was like, what the fuck you talking to the feds for? He said, ever since I lied on the stand and got your black ass off, they been trying to open up stuff and trying to come down on your ass for some nigga named, talking about some Dante Spears. Do you know him? Tariq. If I would have looked at Tariq on any random thing, and I could tell right off the back when he lied. Granted, we already know he lied. But he just don't know. He don't have a poker face. Okay? He was just like, it's just so obvious when he's lying. And I feel like Tate saw right through it. And that's why he said, well, $5,000. Donate $5,000 to my thing for Bitcoin. I said, what? And then you notice how he switched up his voice and he called him a nigga. He was like, put it in the coins, nigga. I said, what? If Tate ain't gonna do nothing, Tate gonna be, listen, you came for advice, but I'm gonna get something for myself. And truth be told, even though Tate annoys me, I can appreciate that because, baby, I ain't finna do all this shit for free, okay? You ask for a favor, do me one by putting some money on my books and my account, okay? Meanwhile, speaking of books and accounts, girl, Monet went down there to talk to Davis, right? Telling him what was going on with Whitman and how he popped up and he doing all this shit or whatever. And of course he want her to just keep on, taking note of what he doing. This is gonna be the evidence that gets him out of there because he's suspended and all this stuff and woo woo woo. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, you keep on talking about this suspension. You keep on talking about this firing and all this stuff. Now, honestly, it's not going to be good either way. Like, he's suspended. He's doing the most. And, and you put this out here and you tell his boss that this is what he's been doing. He's been harassing me. He's been harassing my client. And we find the evidence to, back it up, he gets fired. What do you think that's going to do? That's going to ramp him up even more. And now he's going to be all willy-nilly with it and not caring and go have another reason to go after her to try to take her out. Now he can't kill her behind the bed. She could just kill her if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I don't know about this. Davis, you trying to do this shit the legal way. We need to just go ahead and take his ass out. Okay? He was like, we can give him an alibi. I said, an alibi? What's that supposed to do? So basically, I think he wanted Monet to go down there and talk to him or whatever, or something like that. And it was like, no, that ain't gonna work or whatever. So we need to get a clean Tejada. And the only one that they can think of right in there is to get Diane. But, at this point, Diane and her don't talk. And he was like, we can use that. Because if he's been watching you, he knows that there's family drama going on, right? So we can get Diane to come down there to relay some message and, fake like some stuff going on or whatever. And she was like, oh, shit. Meanwhile, talking about Diane, girl Lorenzo that came over there to the dorm room to collect the money. And she was like, here you go, puppy. I sold it all and we're all good. He was like, yeah, that's cool. And put 2 more kilos down there. She said, listen, papito, what's going on with this? Come inside. Like, no, ¿qué pasó? And I said, girl, you should have known. You should have known. He said, listen, you're going to have to sell this stuff. She said, I don't want to. And when is it, am I going to be able to ever make my own decision? He said, yeah, just not now. Because listen, we in this mess with Norma, and granted, you ain't technically got nothing to do with it, but if we don't sell this stuff, she coming after the whole family. So now you involved with it too. So you don't want your family to get gone, and you don't want to get touched, so you're going to have to help us, all right? Don't guilt trip me like that with my life, okay? Do not guilt trip me. Don't patronize me. Don't do none of that stuff to get me to do this for you. Truth be told, he would have had her do it in the first place, and her dumb ass would have did it because she want to be daddy's little girl, papita, And I'm just like, Diane, I would have said, no, puppy, no. And when they say, they spell out no, or they be excited or whatever, they put the exclamation, and then, oh, they got real telenovela with it. No. Okay, let me stop. That sounds like Dora Explorer. I feel like I'm offending somebody, so I'm gonna stop. But, I was just like, girl, this is the family that you live in. And then Diane also get a knock on the door from Monet. Monet was like, yo, so I can't come in. Are we gonna talk outside or you want me to come in? She was like, Money, what's going on? She was like, I'm gonna come in or I'm gonna stay out here. You can come in. Basically, Monet went over there trying to fake make up with her ass so that she can get on board with this whole talking to Whitman type of thing. And she was like, oh, so you want to come over here and you want to be doing all this and have this conversation with me because you want me to help you. It's always when you want me to help you or whatever. That's when you need me, when you need help or whatever, because this whole time you've been treating me like shit. You practically blaming me for the reason why Zeke got killed and all that. I said, well, it ain't your fault, but... okay, it ain't your fault, it's your daddy's fault. But, it's other shit that she blaming you for. Monet had to suck that shit up. She was like, listen, Whitman is up here doing all this stuff. He following us. Norma up here doing all this stuff. I'm trying to get this cop off my back. He going through our shit or whatever. Because she told Davis that she was going to have him be up there talking to Diane, and then gonna have him, some of his people, whatever. He had to supply some people to go into his place and find whatever sheet or whatever he got on Monet. And I said, child, this is about to be a mess. I don't think it's gonna end the way that y'all want it to end. Girl, she was like, what you wanted me to say? What you want me to say, Diane? That I'm sorry, I'm sorry, baby girl, that I was doing all this, 'cause I was just grieving. Is that what you wanted me to say? Now, ma'am, at first I was like, damn, all right, you was finna do it. But then when she said, is that what you wanted me to say? I would have said, no, bitch, because you ain't mean it. And that's just, you just showed me that you didn't mean it. I would have knew that it was a ploy right there. I would have knew it was fake. But Diane wanted to have the validation and the acceptance and the love and all of that stuff from her mama and her daddy. So she gonna say, I mean, that's a start. And they hugged. I said, girl, if you don't get the hell out of here, you are so easy. And you wanna know who else is easy? Drew, let me tell you something. Quit thinking, can you stop thinking about dick and ass for just a quick second so that we can get this work done? We ain't trying to do the work that you trying to do. We trying to get these drugs and these guns onto the streets. I know that sounds wrong or whatever, because that's not what we go by, but this is just a TV show. He up there talking to his little Tinder date and his play cousin that he matched with on Grand or whatever. And he was trying to get with him. He was like, no, we play cousins. He said, ain't no blood. I said, you know what? Nasty too, but I get it. And he was like, listen, I just don't mix business with personal. I said, that's right. And this would have got real messy, because ain't no telling what they gonna do to them Castillos after this whole thing go down. So they talking about this whole situation, and they talking about their love life and how Kane and Lorenzo don't think that him being in relationships or whatever is working, because he be it don't, girl. Drew, your head be all in the clouds and fucked up when shit go wrong with a nigga, okay? And so they kind of right on that. Look at what you're doing with Everett, all right? And so they was like, yeah, I used to tell my brothers that because they used to feel some type of way as well. So I had to make them known and prove myself to them, and they ain't been saying shit since. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna prove myself. Listen, we got these guns or whatever. He said, yo, I gotta buy or whatever, some crazy ass racist white dudes, whatever. We can do that. He was like, okay, cool. You set that up and I'm gonna sell them all in one time and do it myself. Girl, when he told Kane and Lorenzo that, they looking at him like, I said, now, is this gonna go right, Drew? Is this gonna go right? I don't know. It's a lot. So Jenny was able to get Sack some stuff, right, on the Theo Rollins case and all that situation. And at this whole, Blanca calling her and texting her, and she getting a text from her other phone, which supposed to be her CI phone, and we already knew it was Lauren, okay? And so Sax is like, so you cheating on me or you fucking around with somebody else? She said, nigga, I ain't fucking with nobody else but you, okay? And he just want to understand what's been happening, because it just feels like she's doing stuff behind his back. Oh, girl. Y'all, I've been looking at... Yes. You know when you put in the work and you finally get down to the business and the brass tacks of putting your mind to something and being motivated, like, girl, it's coming off. Like, I'm noticing my chin ain't so big like it was in the last few videos. Like, go back a little bit. That thing was fat. Anyway, so we get that going on, and then she was like, okay, listen, you want to see what I'm doing? I'm going to take you to what I'm doing. Girl, she didn't meet up with Blanca. Blanca said, is you? What is he doing here? I said, oh my goodness, what is happening? Bitch, what is you doing here? Okay, I said 3 insufferable people all together. And truth be told, the one that we really couldn't stand for real, like, we couldn't stand Sax. Sax really had to go, but Blanca really got on our nerves. Girl, Blanca ain't even the one that's the most irritating this time. And that is just baffling to me, okay? That is truly baffling. He was like, so this? She said, this your CI? Yeah. It was like, what the hell? He was like, he works in Davis' office so he can get some stuff from Davis and all that stuff. So he infiltrating and everything. And he trying to make it seem, because he showed Jenny a picture of Davis, Monet, and, Tariq. Remember when they was talking in his office or whatever, and he walked past and he saw it and took a picture of him. He was like, I could connect the dots and make it show that, Davis is Tariq Consielli. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here like, no, Davis is not part of his organization like that. Davis is just going where the money at. So whatever service that he get asked for, as long as you're paying, he's gonna do it. You know, and he's not selling drugs. He don't know the ins and outs of anything, so he's not into it like that. And you know, once again, he's just overstepped and he's making false assumptions or whatever, and it's just gonna blow back up in his face. And he's just being real dumb. He's just being a little bit too eager. You know, Blanca don't want nothing to do with him. You know, he's not on the right peen. I said, girl, you ain't on the up and up either, okay? Because you supposed to be suspended, you know? And so y'all doing all of this, and I'm just like, girl, okay. Meanwhile, you know, Jenny, she go over there to the house and talk to Lauren. Lauren pissed off that she left her in the house with no Wi-Fi, barely any food. I said, now, bitch, why you leave her there with a can of Spam? You could order her some Uber Eats to the house? Or have one of the guards pick it up or whatever. What's going on? Like some Spams? Like, ugh, you know, she looked like a sushi type of girl. You couldn't leave her with some sushi? Like, I just didn't understand, you know? And she was like, you want to get up out of here and you want to help with this case. We trying to build this case against Tariq, whatever, because you see everybody just going off and they just having a good time, you know? And she's showing them pictures of her, Effie and Tariq together. Oh, look at them, huh? Bunch of bitches. I said, listen, Miss Lauren, Miss Lauren, I know you mad at Effie, rightfully so, but at this point in time, what he's supposed to do is he supposed to just be, you know, pussyless the whole time? Like, I just don't understand. He was supposed to just be grieving this whole time and not getting his dick wet? No, but he did kind of move on quick. I ain't gonna lie. But truth be told, he had all of y'all. So you should really be mad at him because he really wasn't faithful to neither one of y'all, okay? He was stringing along all of y'all. And so Jenny was like, do you know anything? Do you remember anything or whatever? She put all these pictures. You got Monet picture. You got Kane. You got Diana. She was like, I do know one time, you know, this girl right here talking about Monet, she showed up to his dorm and his body tensed up and it was like he was nervous and he was scared or whatever she was saying. And so I'm pretty sure it's clicking up in Jenny's head because they've been trying to put a RICO on Tariq and everything. And not realizing that, you know, yeah, he is the head of this stuff. But Lauren just made it so that it seems like, oh, Tariq is taking orders from Monet and that he's scared of her and he's basically, it's almost like he's forced to do it. And I said, maybe that's going to help a little bit because it's going to get a little bit of the heat off. But then we got Blanca who know different. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And so, you know, she said, he did go up there to the roof also with another one of them Tejadas and was talking or whatever. And she was like, which one? This one, Diane. I said, damn it, bitch. And I'm talking about the roof. Like, I'm sitting here like, oh my God, that's where they be putting the drugs and shit at. Damn, bitch, you gotta go. You gotta go. Lauren, at this point in time, I don't understand what her place would be if they bring her back into the fold, the getcha gotcha of it all, and like, how would that go? They're gonna be like, bitch, what happened? And then you already know Effie had something to do with. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder, baby. I would have said, just out of state me, okay? Out of state me real quick. Put me in witness protection. You know, that's just what it is. Let me start over, okay? Give me a new name. Give me a new name. Meanwhile, so you got that going on. Of course, she said they ain't never seen Kane. And you have, speaking of Diane, I don't know what it is about this TA dude, Slime. He looks like a slime, okay? He gives me slime ball tees, and I don't know because I don't know if he's lifted, like he's high all the time, but he gives me that lazy feel. Like, I was like, open up your eyes, okay? And it's like in his mind, in the way that his body moves, he moves in slow motion. That's what he gives me. And I just don't like it for some reason. It just seems very predatory. And the way that he's talking, you know, trying to get close to her, get her defenses down, get into her head. That's what it feels like. Because when they was up in that bed and they was about to, you know, get it in, and as soon as he was about to pull that titty out, she said, let's get back to studying. I would have been like, bitch, what? We are in this bed and you see my shirt off and your titties damn near out and you want to go back to studying. So Miss Diane is a little virgin or something, because what is they doing? They just doing a little bump on top of the clothes or whatever. Like, what's happening? And you know, she started talking about what's going on with her family, and he bringing up the stuff and everything, and she was like, because she wrote Independence on the card, and he said, do you really want this? And she said, yeah, that's why I'm working at the candy store, that's why I'm trying to get through school and all this shit. And he said, well, maybe you need to look into your family instead of yourself, and you probably need to really think about, you know, cutting ties with them. You know, I seen you hanging out with your brother, and then you doing most stuff with your daddy. And I'm sitting here like, whoa, hold up, sir, you need to back it up. That's what you need to do, because listen, excuse me, it was one thing when you Googled her family, and then, because it's like you had a reason to Google for what? Okay, fine, you know, but then you're going to tell her, and now you're telling you're getting a little bit too much involved, okay? And it's like, we didn't miss some steps. We didn't miss some steps because this relationship has already progressed to the bedroom, you know? I don't know if they fucking, or if they just playing humpity-dumpity-dump on top of the clothes, okay? And for you to sit here and to tell this girl, maybe you just need to break free from your family. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to be working on right about now. Excuse me, you are a little bit too involved, Diane. This is why your mama didn't want you to go to school, because you just so goddamn naive at this point. I feel like you probably pillow talking this nigga. Okay, because you did not shut him down and say, excuse the fuck out of me, regardless of how you may feel and regardless of how I may feel. That's my family that you talking about. You don't know the ins and outs, so how dare you? I'm sitting here looking at Diane like, I know you ain't considering this. Bitch, next thing you know, we see her over there with Whitman. Okay, she was like, why you up in here? Well, I just want to know what's going on with Zeke and who killed him. Baby, why is Whitman going around telling people that Monet probably had him killed after she had Carrie killed? Obviously you doing a bad job and a bad service at your job because you don't know how deep it was between Monet and Zeke. Truth be told, she loves Zeke more than she loved her other kids. That's just what it is. Zeke was the prized possession. Zeke was supposed to get her out the goddamn game. That's what it was. He was supposed to get that NBA contract, get that legal money, and get them legal millions for as many years as his knees can do it, and then get out the game. That's just what it was. And you up here trying to put it out there, talking about some, you know, she probably killed Carrie and then she killed Zeke. I said, excuse me, nigga. Now see, you was way off last season and you way off this season. It's a possibility she killed Carrie, but we also know Carrie had some issues, so she could have did herself as well, you know? And so I'm just like, oh, like, sir, I just really don't like you, you know? And then I just was a little confused at this point because I know Diane was supposed to be there feeding him some fake stuff, but it sounded like she was listening and she was, you know, into it. Like, I don't know, was it in the plan for her to tell him, like, I don't trust Monet the cancer, you know, she got separate books up in the house and all this stuff, and he was like, oh, that's money laundering. And it was like, how I'm gonna get to it? And was like, is she gonna be gone? He was like, I can't get to it because she exiled me from the house. And he was like, that's fine, I can go in. Mind you, Monet had said, we're going to have to get him out his place so that they can go into his house and do, you know, find the shit on her that he got. Now this nigga said he want to go over there to her house and whenever Lorenzo and Monet is out the house, and Diane said, I'll let you know. I said, bitch, what? Whitney, you doing too damn much, okay? You take him out. Pop, that's what I want, okay? Meanwhile, we get this gun deal that's happening. Let me tell you something. Girl, Kane, I don't know. Kane and Lorenzo might have a shootout with each other. Because I know Kane trying to hold this over his head. Lorenzo said, listen, how long this shit gonna last? Mind you, Kane over there cleaning out the gun. He was like, how long this shit gonna last? I said, Lorenzo, you really ain't got no... You can't really talk at this point. You know, you don't have no leeway. You don't have the upper hand. You know, you in a position. And like Kane said, tell Monet what you did and we can end this arrangement. But until you do that, I'm the head of this family. You messed up and you basically put it in my hands. So that's on you, okay? You know, and he was cussing his daddy out. I said, oh my God. Now, granted, a part of me didn't care because I cuss my sperm donor out too, because I don't give a fuck about that man. But at the same time, I was like, dang. Like Lorenzo said, bitch, I'm the one that built this stuff. I don't know. I feel like Lorenzo probably up there calculating some stuff. It's just a little too easy and a little too simple that he is just following along. Granted, he got this big thing over him, but I just don't see him continuing to lay down like this, you know? Meanwhile, you got Kane and Lorenzo meeting up with Brayden because they needed somebody to sell the guns to these white folks. They racist white folks, so they needed a white guy. And this is going to be the white guy. Of course, Lorenzo like, you going to get this idiot? And he was like, listen, wait a minute. I don't know Spanish, but I know pendejo. Okay, so what's going on? I said, I would have felt the same way. I would have felt the same way. Brayden comes through sometimes, but not all the times when you all the way need. You need him to drop a body, it's just not gonna happen, okay? You know, you gotta play to his strengths, okay? And at this point, Drew and Gordo, that's his name, they show up, and Kane said, don't worry about it, change the plans, he gonna do it himself. He changing the plans, so Drew ain't got nothing to do with it. Drew like, so how you gonna exit me out my own plan that I came up with? He was like, don't worry about it, you're gonna still get paid the same. I said, excuse me? So he go talk to the daddy. Daddy said, you know, we just gonna go with Kane's plan. Drew looking like, what the so first of all, you embarrassed me in front of my man? Are you serious? Like, what is going on? You treated me like a little kid and shit? Like, what's happening? I said, Drew, just go sit down and take a nap, okay? Just go sit down and take a nap. It's an easy win. I know you're trying to get respect and show them that you can do this without thinking about dick and everything and letting that overcompensate you or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know. It's giving very much Cain and Abel for a second, you know? And then, yeah, I just said, wow. Moving on from that, Blanca gets a tip about a gun sale finna go down upstate with the little white boys. And they said, with the Castillos. And guess what? One of those Castillos was seen leaving the penthouse. I said, God damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. They putting the pieces together. And you got Brayden, I mean, not Brayden, but Tariq. He was able to get RSJ to sit down with Lucas. And then Lucas is sitting there talking about something. I just want to apologize, you know, for the insensitivity that I said, you know, with the race. Girl, RSJ said, so you called me down here in the middle of all this goddamn traffic to tell me an apology? What the do you want with me, okay? Baby, Tariq came through. Tariq came through. Listen, you know what? I trust this goddamn holding company with my money, you know. But I know that there's something that you want from me. You trying to do this whole build this shopping mall down there in Queens, but the only thing that's stopping you is just a building that's in the way. And he was like, yeah, that QCP building or whatever that James, his daddy was trying to do in his last seasons or whatever. A power that he left to Tariq in his will, and he was like, yeah. So come to find out, the building is constructionally inadequate. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if I wanted to, I could offload that shit to you for a little bit more of the market price, and then you can have it and tear it down and do whatever you want. Only if you do invest and put your money up in Weston Holdings. And he was like, so that's what you want me to do? He said, yeah. And he's like, okay. Well, draw up the paperwork and we'll get that shit done. And then he started asking Lucas about that deal again. It was an Italian deal that he brought up. He told him to send him the information about that. I said, oh, so like Tate said, the man did want something from you. And it was that building. I said, see, people don't do stuff for free. So then Brayden, he do the little drop, right? He meet up with the little racist white people, whatever. And the dude keep on asking him questions like, what's his name and all this stuff. Brayden surprisingly played this out really, really well, okay? So he can do a little bit of undercover when he needs to, okay? And oh boy was just like, so next time when we do this whole thing, because Brayden said this the price or whatever, and dude was like, it's too good to be true. He said, this is just what it is, okay? And he said, so next time when old boy, whoever it is, gets some more stuff, we can you can have a deal, talk to Gordo and he'll get you some more. And he said, we don't need to go with Gordo, we'll go with you. I said, wow, we're just gonna be racist all out the ass, huh? And he was like, no, you're gonna go with Gordo. And he said, okay, cool. So next thing you know, as they putting the shipment of the crates of guns up in the car, right? The main dude who was talking to Braden said, get some information on Braden because he don't know who his name is or whatever. So they want to find some information about him. He took a picture of him as well. Next thing you know, Braden goes over there to the motel where Kane and Lorenzo were, drop off the money. Lorenzo tell him to go. Kane don't want to leave right away because he's trying to count the money. And so at this point, Lorenzo looking out the window, them white boys is out there looking at him, right? And they like, oh, it's just one person up in there, so let's go. Girl, one person and y'all gonna bring a whole militia up there? And with these big guns? I said, excuse me, this is New York. Where do y'all do this stuff at? It's just a lot. Girl, they come busting in the door. Please, pop, 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 pop. Girl, I said, now how is it that it's 50 million guns on y'all side and it's just 2 people right here and they take y'all asses out when y'all try to come into the hotel room? So then they come out and, you know, they get into it with the other guys that's still out there with the ringleader. They miss him, okay? They keep on missing each other. I said, oh, y'all can't shoot for shit right about now. When it's moving, y'all can't shoot, okay? But when y'all still, oh, you got it. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, a car pulls up. Ooh, Ghost ride the whip, you know, and it is Drew and his boo-boo Gordo, okay? Gordo hanging out the window, pop, 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 pop. I said, oh shit, go ahead and get him. They done popped some niggas and everything. Girl, it was Drew that came through and popped the main dude. I said, all right, Drew, you know, and then Kate was like, well, how the fuck you knew we was gonna be down here? Lorenzo said, I texted him. Now, see, it was a good thing that I texted him to let us know what was going on, to follow us just in case something popped off, right? Because they wanted him to stay up in Queens, okay? And so at this point, you know, Lorenzo went into the car. Kane went and looked at the shipment. So at this moment, we realized Gordo got shot. Or he ain't really get shot. He got grazed, okay? You know, I don't know how it feels to get grazed by a bullet. I'm pretty sure it probably feels just as bad or almost just as bad as actually it going into the flesh for real, and not just on top of the flesh and cutting a little bit of the meat. Cause Gordo was acting like, bitch, he got shot instead of just grazed, which feel like a scratch that kind of hurts like 100 times, you know, than a normal scratch. He was like, I said, nigga, suck it up, okay? Just a little bit of alcohol. I said, Drew, blow on it so it can lessen it. It really don't lessen it. Just blow on it. We be psyching our minds up. Next thing you know, them two looking at each other eyes deeply. I thought you said that we wasn't going to do this. I said, go ahead and fuck, okay? Let me tell you something. Drew been getting more ass out of everybody on this show since season 1. I said, you know what, Drew? I ain't even mad at it. Meanwhile, Kane and Lorenzo had a little father-son heart-to-heart moment in the car. Because he was like good looking out about having Drew coming through or whatever, you know. He said regardless of what was going on, and he said, you know, if you had to push me in that time, I would have got hit, because he did push him or whatever. And he was like, that's cool or whatever, but at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on between you and me or my kids, you still my first son, you my firstborn, and regardless, you know, right or wrong, I'ma still have your back, okay? And I said, you know what, Lorenzo? I like that for now. You know, I feel like you're not finna last on this show that too much longer. Either you finna go back to jail or Monet is about to kill you. But there's that. And then, you know, they kind of made up, and Kane said, my bad about putting you through all that stuff. I said, excuse me, nah, we ain't finna drop it. Okay, my ass would have been like, that's what you supposed to do, and I'm still finna be riding your ass, okay? But Kane said, listen, so now that we got these guns back and we already got Norma's shipment, her payment for it, we can get Norma her money for it, and we can go sell these guns and get another piece. I said, you know what? Do what you gotta do. Meanwhile, you got that going on. And then Whitman ass is outside Monet's house, okay? And I was just really mad. I was just really mad because this white man coming to what is probably a black neighborhood and putting on a hoodie and just looking very suspect. And, you know, he can get away with it. And I was just really annoyed by that because niggas can't. And then he put a little laser light up into the camera that's on the building, on the house, right? And he go in through the sliding windows on the side, like the patio. And I'm just sitting here like, so, you know, Tejadas don't have ADT or whatever. Y'all don't got Brinks. Y'all ain't got no home security service. So that when the windows open, that because technically wasn't nobody supposed to be there. Now he come walking through the house or whatever. He was like, what you doing here? Girl, it's Diane. And at first I was like, Diane, which side of the fence is you playing, girl? Diane said family first, okay? I said, all right, because she started calling and she took her phone off. She said, 911. Oh my God, it's an intruder in the house and he just won't leave. Oh my God, we need help. Send help. Girl, I said, all right. Next thing you know, girl, Monet came out and just basically said, tell that bitch Carrie, I said, what's up? Pop, pop, pop. First you trying to say that, oh no, like when you get caught doing some fuck shit and then you trying to talk your way out of it. No, accept your fate, okay? Accept it. Pop, pop, pop. Girl, Diane getting up in her feelings because she was like, oh my God, Mama, I thought you were supposed to just let the cops do it. If I had known that this is what you was going to do, kill him, I wouldn't have did nothing. She said, that's exactly why I didn't tell you. Now punch me in my face. She said, what? Punch me in my face so that we can make it look like it was a struggle. He hit me and it's self-defense or whatever. She said, come on, girl, do it. I said, now, Diane, the bitch been giving you a whole bunch of reasons in your mind for to whoop her ass. Take this opportunity. I would have said, no problem. Bam! You know, I said, hit her again, because that wasn't hard enough. That wasn't hard enough. Hit her again. Pop, pop, pop. That's what you should have did. And she was like, God damn. Okay, now go fuck the living room up and make it look like a break-in. I said, all right. So, of course, the cops come. They doing the investigation. Diana's telling this whole story. Oh, my God, like, he came in, and I was just like, oh, my God, Mom, what's going on? And he was fighting my mom, and I just froze, and I was just like, oh, my God, my mom had nothing to do. All she could do was do self-defense. I said, okay, I wouldn't have believed it, but all right, you know, go ahead. Acting could be a little bit better. Girl, Davis came up in there and said, what the fuck? This wasn't what we were supposed to do. And she said, I mean, the nigga came up in my house. What the fuck you think we gonna do? Okay? And at the end of the day, it's self-defense. He said, you a bad bitch. And I said, oh, you know, that's cute or whatever. And so he gave her the files that he got from his apartment or whatever that, you know, what's his name had on her and Zeke and all of that stuff. And he said, we'll look at it later, okay? Next thing you know, we got over here with Effie and, you know, Tariq up here having a little conversation. He had to tell her that he got RSJ to sign and all this stuff. And he was like, I just was thinking if I get my trust fund and get it set up, maybe I come out there and hit you up in California. Oh, you would do that and all that stuff? Girl, they wound up having sex. And when they did that, you know, Tariq, I mean, she put that nigga to sleep, okay? That nigga was laying on his back like this. She tweeted and said, he looked like that because he was really asleep, because every time they do stuff like that, he really be falling asleep, snoring and everything. So I thought that was funny. But she texted, whatchamacallit, Kane and said, I couldn't tell him what happened. Please don't blow this up for me, okay? This is the only person that ever really truly cared about me that I feel connected with. And he was like, you know, I felt like he actually felt a heart. Because he said, don't worry, I got you. And she said, for real? He said, yeah, I got you. Now, you know, it's Kane, so I really don't trust it. But I kind of did, but then I don't. You know. But moving on from that, you know, Blanca was on the crime scene, right? Now, I was on Twitter, right? And somebody had screenshotted this moment when Blanca was talking to DA dude. And he was like, the caption was, I know that ain't who I think it is. And I'm looking at the comments like, who the fuck is it, trying to figure it out? They said, that's Angela Verdas's either nephew that was trying to get up into the police. I said, what? Don't bring that shit over here. Don't bring that side chick bitch shit over here, okay? Leave that hoe in the grave and Power Book 1, okay? Just leave that. But, you know, Blanca, because remember, they did say that one of the guys got away. That's what Gordo and what's his name, Drew was talking about. And Drew was like, you think he gonna come back? He said, nah, after all of this shit, hell nah. But see, Blanca said, get that nigga in surgery, and then once he get out of surgery, have him talk to me. I said, oh shit. Blanca finna fuck stuff up for everybody. Meanwhile, girl, the Get You Gotcha other episode, shit is coming down to a close. It is getting to the mid-season peak, okay? Because we are on episode 4. Next week will be episode 5, and we will be halfway through with the season. Girl, Monet opened up that papers, and she was going through them reports or whatever. We seeing these fingerprints and all this stuff. And then we seeing a signature. Now, did that signature say Zeke? I couldn't really tell, because first of all, it was kind of neat for a man. But anyway, she looked at it and she said, oh my God, what the fuck? She get on the phone and she called Davis. I said, girl, what? Davis said, what's good? She said, can you explain to me, did you see the report? Can you explain to me why is it that they saying that Lorenzo's fingerprint matches whoever some fingerprints that was on the crime scene where Z got killed? And he was like, what? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look at it, but don't you do nothing. Play it cool. I said, bitch, put 2 and 2 together, girl. In our world, 2 and 2 means 4. Not 22, but 4. And if it makes sense to you, that's what it is. What your gut telling you, girl. Girl, and at that point, Lorenzo come up like, yo, baby, what's going on? You okay? You can sleep and all that stuff? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got you. I love you with all this stuff. Girl, she was like, I love you too. And she looking like, ain't this about her bitch? Hugging her like ain't nothing been going on this whole time. Nigga, you was at the crime scene. What's really good? I said 2 + 2. 4, baby. Girl, this is being good. Now, nigga, girl, Ghost, listen, Power finna go international. They up in Italy next week. I said, all right, the budget is up. Okay, if it's up, then it's up. Anyway, that was Power, y'all. Y'all tell me how y'all like it. What y'all think finna happen. Girl, I am so glad Whitman is gone. It was real simple. It really wasn't no type of thing because I kind of synced it on Twitter anyway. But I don't know. It was just a little bit too easy. It was a little bit too easy. So now we got to wait. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll see y'all later. Peace.